Hello everybody, this is your man Jason F. Smith, creator of the Shades of Intimacy and Modern Day Warrior Intensives, found at jasonfsmith.com. Welcome to today's Daily Download Edition podcast, the title of which is The Men Want to Do It, But the Women Don't. Okay, sit back, relax, and welcome to the download. Okay, so here's the story for you. When I first got into the work that I did with David Deida. So do you guys know who David Deida is? If you don't, you need to go check out this man. Brilliant, brilliant man. He's also like a transmitter. He is quite a transformer, quite a teacher, quite a technician. A really, really powerful man. He has a book out. He has a lot of books out, but one of them that you want to pick up is called The Way of the Superior Man. Now, in it, he discusses the technology of masculinity, and I was interested in this book because things weren't working between me and Jennie. We were getting along as friends, but everything else was not working. There was a loss of connection. And that was leading to us not getting along. To long talks up in the mountains, to her and I breaking up a couple times. Like, what's wrong? Why are we not connected? I mean, we loved each other. There were a lot of other things going on. I had 3 kids. She was coming in. There was just this pain in our relationship that we couldn't understand. We didn't even know what it was. That was the fun part. So I read this book, and I got a hint. From the book, I got the hint of what it might be. And I read passages to her. We went to Idaho once, and I read her damn near the whole book thinking, this is it. She's gonna get it from this book. And of course she didn't. She did not get it from the book. So I eventually heard that David did workshops. And I thought, wow, that's it. That's what we need to do. We need to go do this workshop. And so I approached Jennie. I said, well, things aren't working. And she goes, nope, they're not. And we're not going to be together if we can't figure this out. It was a lot more emotional than that. I'm paraphrasing the long, emotional, and difficult situation that we were in. Not because I'm minimizing it, but because this is a short daily download. And that story is for a longer podcast. But right now, so you got to imagine yourself with us here. We're not working. We decide we're going to go to the workshop. It's a 3-day workshop. We're thinking 3 days. We're going to fly to California. He only does them rarely, though. So we just email his assistant. We find this date, and maybe he's going to do the whole year, and we're going to go. And we do the interview. So we pass through the interview process, and at the end, they tell us how much it's going to be. Well, it's going to be $3,000 a person. And Jennie and I kind of like, whoa. Like, we're thinking, like $300 a person, and whoa, $3,000. But we're worth it. We're very much worth it. And we knew we needed something. And we had this, we just had this hope or feeling. It was more than a hope. It was kind of a feeling. It was based on reading the book, The Way of the Superior Man, that he was onto something here. So we went, and I've told that story many times. But the key part of this time is that I wanted to go, and Jennie was like, like going to a workshop for couples, and I was like, yes, let's do it. And she reluctantly said, I get it. I'll do it. $3,000 a pop. So it was $6,000 total. Flights, hotel, the whole 9 yards. It was on top of that. So we went. Now, most of you, if you've heard us talk for the years, you know that worked. That was it. That was the epiphany moment. That changed our lives. So, flash forward almost 10 years now. We've gone through the process of working and learning from David and moving out on our own. And now here we go. We've got a workshop coming up. It's our own 3-day workshop. It's called the Shades of Intimacy. And in between that time, I have learned something interesting as we do the work, as we worked down in California with David, as we would help in all of these areas, that for the most part, the women are the ones who want to go to these workshops. The women want to go, but the men don't. The women are like, I want to fix my relationship. I want to fix my intimacy. I want to get this connection back or create it in the first place. And the men have to be dragged there. The men have to be dragged there. And in fact, usually the only time they come, usually, not always, but usually is if they get some promise that they're going to get better sex out of this or get sex, period. Right? Okay. So understanding that, it's the women. It's the women who want to come and the men get dragged. That is the majority of it. Now remember my story. My story was it was the other way around. I was the one who wanted to go and I kind of had to drag my wife. So it's interesting. I'm going to tie this all together. As we get ready for this workshop coming up, as we do the interviews and we cycle through the preparations, it's interesting. The theme is that the men want to come. The men want to do it, but the women don't. It's the women. So men are calling me and they want to come. They want to repair their relationship, heighten their intimacy. It's become true pain for them. Like the connection between their queen is gone, and it's killing them. They're not getting energy. They're not giving energy. It's really painful. The theme is, again and again, brothers, sisters, they love their wives deeply, but there's no connection, and that connection is starting to get painful. Now, usually it's the women saying that to me. This time it's the men, which reminds me a little bit of my own journey, right? Okay, so that's the story today. Now, notice I have not told you what we actually do at the Shades of Intimacy. So I'll tell you, it's called polarity training. And yes, it fixes the problem. Oh, yes. But it's not something you can read in a book. I know that because I did it. And so you got to get on the floor. Anyways, so I'm telling you this whole story just because it's really interesting. Experience that I'm sharing in my life right now is that the men are the one who are willing, and it's the women who are a little reluctant. Okay. That's all I have for you this beautiful morning. I'm pulling into the gym where I am going to work out with my trainer, Cole Schaefer, and I will get after that right now. And so I will see you guys tomorrow morning. This is Jason F. Smith signing off.